Look at your feet right now. Do they ever feel cold, even in warm weather? Do you get tingling or numbness that comes and goes without any reason? Does your leg cramp at night and wake you up from sleep? Most people dismiss these feelings as tiredness, as getting older, as nothing serious. They are wrong. These are the early warning signals of peripheral circulation failure, a condition where blood stops reaching your legs and feet efficiently. And what makes this truly dangerous is that by the time most people feel these symptoms clearly, the damage has already been building inside their arteries for years. Poor blood circulation in the legs is not just a comfort problem. It is a full-body emergency signal. The same process that restricts blood to your feet is happening in your heart arteries, your brain, and your kidneys, all at the same time. Today on Health Say, we are going to walk through 7 proven and science-backed ways to restore blood flow to your legs and feet, starting today. Stay until the very last way. It is the simplest one on this entire list. It requires no equipment, no money, and no medication. And it works within 90 seconds. Before we talk about the solutions, you need to understand exactly what is happening inside your arteries. Your circulatory system moves approximately 5 liters of blood through 96,000 kilometers of blood vessels every single minute. Your heart beats 100,000 times every day to keep this going. It is the most demanding mechanical system in the human body, running continuously for 80 or more years without a single break. Your legs and feet are at the furthest point from your heart. They are at the very end of the pipeline. So when pressure drops anywhere in the system, when arteries narrow, when blood thickens, when the heart weakens, your legs and feet feel it first. The main cause of reduced leg circulation is called peripheral artery disease. This is the slow buildup of plaque inside the walls of your arteries. This plaque is made of cholesterol, calcium, and inflammatory tissue. It narrows the inner channel of the artery, reducing the volume of blood and the amount of oxygen reaching your muscles and tissue below. But peripheral artery disease is not the only cause. Weak vein valves allow blood to pool downward instead of flowing back to the heart. Diabetes damages small blood vessels over time. Sitting for long periods compresses the main arteries of the leg. Dehydration makes blood thicker and slower. And smoking destroys the inner lining of arteries faster than almost anything else. Every single way we are about to discuss targets one or more of these causes directly. So let us begin restoring your flow. Before we talk about foods or treatments or any other intervention, this one comes first, because nothing else on this list works as powerfully, as quickly, or as reliably as walking. Your legs contain what physiologists call the peripheral heart. The large muscles of your calves, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, act as a secondary pumping system inside your body. Every single time they contract during walking, they squeeze the deep veins of the leg and push blood upward against gravity, back toward your heart. Without this muscular pump working regularly, blood begins to pool in the lower legs. Veins stretch and distend. Pressure builds up. Fluid leaks out into the surrounding tissue. This is exactly why people who sit for 8 or more hours every day develop swollen ankles, varicose veins, and deep vein blood clots. A landmark study published in the European Heart Journal found that just 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 times per week reduced the risk of peripheral artery disease progression by 54% in high-risk adults. Walking also stimulates the release of nitric oxide from the inner lining of your arteries. Nitric oxide is the most powerful natural vasodilator your body is capable of producing. It causes arteries to widen, blood pressure to fall, and blood flow to increase immediately after you begin moving. Even 10-minute walks 3 times per day produce significant circulatory benefit if a 30-minute continuous walk is not yet possible for you. The goal is total daily movement, not one single long session. Every 30 minutes of sitting, stand up and walk for just 2 minutes. This simple habit measurably reduces blood pooling in the legs throughout the day. Start here. Everything else builds on this foundation. Your blood is approximately 55% water. That water component is called plasma, and it is what keeps blood fluid enough to flow freely through your vessels. When you are dehydrated, even mildly, at just 2% below your optimal hydration level, plasma volume drops. Your blood becomes more viscous, more concentrated, thicker, and thicker blood is significantly harder for your heart to pump through the body. It moves more slowly through the tiny capillaries that deliver oxygen to muscle tissue deep in your legs. It becomes more prone to forming clots. And in legs that are already struggling with reduced circulation, thicker blood dramatically worsens oxygen delivery all the way down to the feet and toes. This is why so many people with cold feet and nighttime leg cramps are actually just chronically dehydrated. And they do not realize it, because thirst is a late-stage signal from your body. By the time you feel truly thirsty, you are already 2 to 3% dehydrated. Adults need a minimum of 2 to 2.5 liters of water every day for basic vascular health. And the most powerful hydration habit is simple. Drink 1 large glass of water first thing in the morning, before food, before coffee, before anything else. Overnight dehydration is significant because you lose water through breathing and sweating while you sleep. Morning rehydration improves your morning circulation immediately and sets your vascular system in the right state for the entire day. This is one of the most clinically validated interventions in all of vascular medicine, and most people think it is only for elderly patients or long airplane flights. Graduated compression stockings work through a straightforward mechanical principle. They apply the highest pressure at the ankle and gradually reduce that pressure as they move up the leg. This pressure gradient physically squeezes the surface veins, forcing blood upward toward the heart and preventing it from pooling down in the lower legs and feet. A Cochrane review examining 14 randomized controlled trials found that graduated compression significantly reduced venous reflux, ankle swelling, and the symptoms of chronic venous insufficiency. For people who stand or sit for long periods every day, compression reduces daily leg swelling by up to 70%. But compression is not only for people with existing vein disease. For any healthy adult over 40 who works a desk job or travels frequently, compression socks are a preventive tool. A compression level of 15 to 20 millimeters of mercury is appropriate for healthy prevention and daily wear. Put them on in the morning before you get out of bed, before gravity pulls blood downward into your legs. This timing is critical and maximizes their effectiveness throughout the entire day. Your arteries are not passive pipes. They are living and responsive structures that expand and contract based on biochemical signals from your body, and certain foods directly trigger arterial dilation. The most powerful dietary vasodilator is dietary nitrate. Found abundantly in beetroot, spinach, arugula, and celery, dietary nitrate is converted inside your body into nitric oxide. A study published in Hypertension Journal found that drinking 250 milliliters of beetroot juice daily for 4 weeks reduced systolic blood pressure by 8 points and significantly improved peripheral blood flow in participants with high blood pressure. For your legs and feet, this translates directly to better oxygen delivery to your extremities. Dark chocolate with 70% or higher cocoa content contains flavonols that stimulate endothelial nitric oxide production within just 2 hours of eating it. Garlic contains a compound called allicin that directly relaxes smooth muscle in arterial walls. Cayenne pepper triggers vasodilation through specific receptor activation in blood vessel walls. Pomegranate polyphenol inhibit the same enzyme that blood pressure medications target. And omega-3 fatty acids from salmon, sardines, and walnuts reduce blood viscosity and the triglyceride levels that cause blood to thicken. A Mediterranean-style diet rich in these vasodilatory foods has been shown in multiple large-scale studies to reduce peripheral artery disease risk by 30 to 40% over 10 years. Food is not a supplement to medication. For many people in the early stages of circulation impairment, food is the medication. Two of the simplest, most effective, and completely free interventions for leg circulation. And almost no one does both of them consistently. Leg elevation works by reversing gravity. When you raise your legs above the level of your heart, lying on a bed with your legs propped on 2 or 3 pillows, or on a recliner at 30 to 45 degrees, venous blood drains passively toward the heart without the heart needing to work against gravitational pressure. Swelling in the feet and ankles reduces within 15 to 20 minutes. Tissue oxygen levels improve as stagnant blood is replaced by fresh oxygenated flow. This is why vascular surgeons recommend leg elevation as a first-line therapy for venous insufficiency before any medication is prescribed. Ankle movement exercises are equally powerful and can be done anywhere. While seated or lying down, Flex your foot upward toward your shin, then point it downward, and repeat this slowly and deliberately. This activates the calf muscle pump without requiring you to stand or walk at all. A study of postoperative hospital patients showed that ankle exercises performed for 10 minutes produced blood flow velocity in the deep femoral vein comparable to slow walking. Combine both in your evening routine. Elevate your legs for 20 minutes while performing ankle movements every 5 minutes. This drains the blood that has pooled throughout the day, reduces overnight swelling, and significantly reduces the risk of clot formation overnight, which peaks in the early morning hours in sedentary adults. If you smoke, this is not optional information. It is the most urgent thing on this entire list. Smoking is the single most powerful modifiable risk factor for peripheral artery disease. Smokers are 4 times more likely to develop this condition than non-smokers. Among people who already have it, smokers have dramatically higher rates of limb amputation, stroke, and cardiovascular death. The mechanism is direct and operates on multiple levels simultaneously. Nicotine causes immediate vasoconstriction. Your blood vessels narrow within seconds of each cigarette. Carbon monoxide from the smoke binds to hemoglobin 200 times more strongly than oxygen does, directly reducing the oxygen carrying capacity of your blood with every single puff. And thousands of chemical compounds in cigarette smoke damage the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, causing the inflammation that accelerates plaque formation throughout the entire arterial system. The damage to leg circulation in particular is visible and severe. There is a condition called Berger's disease, a severe inflammatory condition of small and medium arteries in the legs and feet, leading to tissue death and amputation, that occurs almost exclusively in smokers under the age of 45. The recovery after quitting is real, and it is measurable. Within 24 hours, carbon monoxide levels normalize and blood oxygen rises. Within 2 to 12 weeks, circulation measurably improves. Within 1 year, peripheral artery disease progression slows significantly. Within 5 years, cardiovascular risk approaches that of someone who never smoked. No medication, no surgery, and no other intervention produces better outcomes in peripheral artery disease than stopping smoking. The research on this is absolute and without exception. This is the one most people never expect to be on this list, and it begins working within 90 seconds of starting it. Contrast hydrotherapy, alternating between warm and cold water on the legs and feet, is one of the oldest circulatory treatments in sports medicine, and modern research confirms exactly why it produces results. Warm water causes vasodilation. Blood vessels in the legs widen as the body attempts to release heat through the skin. Blood rushes into the legs and feet. 3 to 4 minutes of warm water application produces measurable increases in peripheral blood flow velocity that you can actually feel as warmth spreading through your feet. Cold water then causes vasoconstriction. Vessels tighten rapidly and blood is pushed back toward the core of the body. Applying cold for 1 minute immediately after the warmth creates a powerful pumping action. The rapid alternation between dilation and constriction mechanically drives blood through the peripheral vascular system in a way that resting alone cannot achieve. A study published in the Journal of Athletic Training found that contrast water therapy produced significantly greater increases in blood flow velocity and skin temperature in the lower extremities compared to resting recovery alone, and these effects persisted for 30 minutes after the treatment ended. The protocol is simple. 3 to 4 minutes of warm water on your legs and feet, as warm as is comfortably tolerable. Then immediately 1 minute of cold water. Repeat this cycle 3 times. Always end on cold. Total time is approximately 12 to 15 minutes. You can do this in your shower starting tonight. This is why it is the final way on this list. Not because it is the least important, but because after everything you have just learned, you can go and do this one right now, today, and feel the difference in your feet before you go to sleep tonight. Let me give you a clear and immediate plan starting right now. Today, after this video ends, drink a full glass of water. Do 3 minutes of ankle movements wherever you are sitting right now. And tonight, try 1 cycle of contrast water therapy in your shower. 3 minutes warm, 1 minute cold, 3 times through. This week, add a 20-minute walk every single day. Even 2 10-minute walks count. Add 1 beetroot or 1 handful of spinach to your daily meals. And elevate your legs for 20 minutes every evening before sleep. This month, if you sit for more than 6 hours per day, invest in a pair of graduated compression socks. Have your blood pressure, blood glucose, and cholesterol checked. These are the root cause markers of peripheral circulation decline. And if you smoke, speak to your doctor about a cessation plan this week, not next month. If you are already experiencing significant leg pain when you walk, rest pain in your feet at night, or wounds on your feet and toes that are not healing, do not wait and do not manage this at home. These are advanced symptoms of peripheral artery disease that require immediate medical evaluation. Your legs carry you through every single day of your life. They carry you to your family, to your work, to every moment and every place that matters to you. The blood that flows through them, that keeps them warm, that feeds their muscles, that connects them to your heart, deserves the same attention and care you give to everything else in your life. Poor circulation is not a life sentence. It is a biological process, and biological processes respond to the right inputs. Give your circulatory system what it needs, and it will respond. 7 ways. No medication required. Starting today, before it is too late. If this video gave you something that your doctor has not discussed with you, share it with someone whose feet are always cold. They need to see this. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these 7 ways you are starting today. I read every single comment. I am Health Say. We visualize health. We think deeper, and we help you understand your body. See you in the next one.